Uh, Hello dear students, good afternoon everyone. So in the last class we were discussed here some of the most important concepts, those are like Rutherford alpha scattering experiments and nuclear atomic models, and that so electromagnetic radiations as well. So today in this session we are going to discuss here one of the most interesting and important concept, that is that here a characteristics of that a wave motion. Characteristics of wave motion. So we will discuss these particular concepts so in this session here. So right now we are going to discuss here characteristics of wave motion. See guys, in order to characterize that particular wave motion or a wave, we have to know that some sort of parameter here. Okay, which are those parameters? It could be helpful to that characterize that a certain particular that characteristics of this particular wave. So we'll discuss today that particular thing here. So one by one we'll discuss, and the very first we'll go with that here, velocity. So is a major a particular parameter that can characterize that here, that particular wave motion here. So that is one of the velocity, and that velocity is indicated by the symbol c, or that can be denoted by the symbol or represented by the symbol here c. Then what is mean by velocity here? See, the velocity is nothing but the distance travelled by a wave in 1 second. The distance travelled by a wave in 1 second, that we can call to as in here velocity guys. And we actually know that here the electromagnetic radiation that can travel with a speed which is equal to the speed of a light, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second, as we know that already, isn't it? So then velocity is nothing but, if you want to define that velocity means, so that is the distance travelled by a wave in 1 second, that we can call to as in here velocity. Okay, so guys, we have to know that here velocity can be indicated by the symbol c, and you know that if you want to know that the SI unit of that velocity here, that is an here meter per second. We already know that, isn't it? So, and we also have to know one more thing, as I told you that before, that is electromagnetic radiation. Also have velocity, which is equal to velocity of light. That is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second, or if you want to convert into centimeter means 3 into 10 to the power of 10 centimeter per second. Okay, so this is the thing, is very simple thing and very simple definitions here. So these are the means we are going to discuss here that parameter. Okay, so these parameters are help us to that characterize that a particular wave. Okay, so the very first here velocity, that is as I told you that the distance travelled by a wave in 1 second. The distance travelled by a wave in 1 second we can call to be as in here velocity, and that velocity of that electromagnetic radiations, which is equal to that that velocity of that light, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second, and that velocity is SI unit is to be here meter per second guys. So this is the thing, this is the very first parameter, so that we can characterize that wave motion. And the second one I will go with that wavelength, which is most important thing guys, wavelength. Okay, so wavelength, then so that wavelength that can be indicated by the symbol here lambda, which is a Greek letter guys. Okay, so wavelength. Okay, then what is mean by wavelength here? So the thing is that, see, we have one certain picture here. In order to understand that wavelength, need not to worry about it, a very simple thing here. Okay, so I just draw one particular wave here. Okay, see that upper portion we can call to as here crest, and that below portion, that is trough. So here this is also crest and this is also trough. So wavelength is nothing but here the distance between the two successive crust and as well as the trough. The distance between two successive crust and trough we can call to be as in here wavelength, isn't it? So the distance between the two successive crust and trough we can call to be as in here wavelength, guys. And that wavelength can be, you know, that we are going to represent by that, you know, symbol, that is lambda, and their SI unit could be here. So we can express that wavelength in number of terms. You know, their SI unit could be here, either it may be a meter, centimeter, angstrom, picometer, nanometer. Okay, so these all are that, you know, SI units which can helpful to represent or in order to express that wavelength. Okay, so then we'll define that wavelength here. So wavelength is nothing but the distance between two successive crest and trough, that we can call to be as in here wavelength. And that wavelength can be here, you know, SI unit of that wavelength would be or can be expressed in terms of meter, centimeter, angstrom, okay, which is angstrom, and PM means picometer, NM nanometer. Okay, so these are the units for that here wavelength. If you want to express, so means you should express your wavelength either in terms of meter, centimeter, angstrom, picometer or nanometer, guys. So these are the terms here. So okay, so and wavelength is nothing but the distance between the two successive crust and as well as the trough we can call to be as in here wavelength. And we have to know that here the height of the crest and the depth of the trough. Height of the crest and depth of the trough can be indicated by or can be represented by the term A. Means A is indicating here amplitude. A is nothing but here amplitude. Amplitude is nothing but the height of the crest or depth of the trough. Height of the crest, or I'll just write here, guys. Okay, so I'll just going to rub here velocity the term. Okay, so that amplitude is nothing but here the height of the crest or depth of the trough. So that we can call to be as in here. So amplitude. So then actually what is the role of amplitude here? What is the role of an amplitude? So amplitude that can measures that here intensity or brightness of that particular wave. So that can determines here actually that can determines. So the thing is that can determines that amplitude, the brightness or an intensity of that particular wave. So this is the actual a simple role of that here amplitude. Okay, so amplitude that can measures intensity or brightness of the wave. So this is the scenario here. So this is we can call it as here wavelength. So ultimately wavelength is nothing but the distance between the two successive crust and trough, we can call it as here wavelength, guys. And we can express that particular, you know, so wavelength in terms of meter, centimeter, angstrom, picometer and nanometer, and we have to know their particular conversion factor here. So guys, 1 angstrom which equals to 10 to the power of minus 10 meter or 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeter, 1 angstrom. So 1 nanometer which equals to 10 to the power of minus 9 meter, or if you want to express in terms of centimeter means 10 to the power of minus 7 centimeter. Okay. So and 1 picometer which equals to 10 to the power of minus 12 meter, or if you want to express in terms of centimeter, it would be 10 to the power of minus 10 centimeter. Okay. So this is the thing here. So this is the, you know, that their conversion factor and that definition for that wavelength. So next I will move on to that one more important parameter, that is frequency. So what is mean by frequency here? So frequency that can be indicated by the symbol here nu. Okay. So what is that actually frequency stands for here? Guys, frequency is nothing but here the number of waves that can passes through a particular point in 1 second. A number of wave that can passes through a particular point in 1 second, we can call it as here frequency. So you just, you know, that assume that we have one certain point here. Okay, to that particular point the wave has to be passing here. Okay, the wave is going to be passing like that. So let us assume these are waves. Okay, so which means that here in one particular second, so to that particular point, so how many waves are going to be passes, or that in actual standard form, if you want to express that frequency means in the particularly the thing is that the number of waves that can passes through a particular point in 1 second, that we can call to as in here frequency. Very simple definition here. So write down, guys. The thing is that frequency is nothing but the number of waves that can passes through a particular point in 1 second is called frequency. So this is the thing, and you know that frequency can be indicated or denoted by here a symbol nu. Okay, so and what is mean by frequency, guys? The number of waves that can passes through one particular point in 1 second, we can call to as in here frequency, guys, and that frequency can be represented by the symbol here. So that nu, and we have to, you know, that can express this particular frequency in terms of cycle per second or in terms of hertz. Okay, that is CPS is nothing but here cycle per second. Okay, so that is nothing but here, you know, we can expressing that particular frequency in terms of cycle per second or in terms of hertz, guys. Okay, so and I am just going to rub this one. If you want to means that you just take a screenshot. I have to note down. Yes, guys, here also some sort of conversion factor is required, that is, so 1 CPS which equals to 1 hertz, 1 CPS which equals to 1 hertz, and 1 kilohertz which equals to 10 to the power of 3 hertz, and 1 megahertz which equals to 10 to the power of 6 hertz. Okay, so this is all about here frequency. Simple, you know that. So definitions for this particular parameter here we are going to discuss actually. So these are the parameters, guys, and so let me tell you that very next parameter. So it would be here wave number. Wave number, very much important and very easy as well. So and can be represented by here the symbol nu bar. Nu bar. Okay, so wave number. So what is mean by wave number here? So very simple. Wave number is nothing but here very simple, guys, which is a reciprocal of wavelength. Reciprocal of wavelength, or a wave length per meter or centimeter. We can call to be as in here wave number. So in a simple manner, if you want to define that particular wave number means, we go with this particular definition, that is the reciprocal of wavelength we can call to be as in here wave number. Okay, so here, so nu bar basically which is inversely proportional to wavelength. So here whatever the unit you are going to express for wavelength here, it will get to that here wave number. Okay, suppose if you want to express here wavelength in terms of centimeter means nu bar would be here per centimeter, meter means per meter, isn't it? So just like that, so nu bar having that SI unit based on that unit of that here wavelength. Okay, so hence we can call to be as in here wave number here the reciprocal of wavelength, that we can call to be as in here wave number. Guys, ultimately we have been come across with here some of the parameters. So those are, you know, velocity and wavelength and frequency and wave number. Okay, so if you want to relate here some few parameters together, then we are going to get actually one particular equation there over. Okay, so that particular equations which is very useful to in order to find out that a frequency or an wavelength or an velocity of a particular wave. Okay, so then let's discuss that particular equation right now. So how we are going to get that particular thing, and in order to calculate all those particular parameter. Okay, so let's discuss that particular thing, guys. So if you want to relate here, so velocity and frequency and wavelength, the relationship between velocity, wavelength and frequency. Okay, so understand this term here: velocity, wavelength, frequency. So if you want to relate these three particular parameters, if you know that if you have merged these three particular things means, we are going to get actual one certain equation here, that would be C which equals to nu lambda. C which equals to nu lambda. C is the limit here velocity of light, and nu is the limit here frequency, and lambda is the limit here wavelength of that particular light. Okay, so suppose if you want to get here if you want to get that expression for that here wavelength or an frequency, then what we have actually going to do there, we have to just replace, guys, that's it. We have to just alter the equation, that's it. If you want to get here wavelength, then just you can alter. So lambda if you want means, so the equation must be here C by nu, or if you want to take this equation in terms of frequency, then nu which equals to C by lambda. Okay, so this is the very important equation, guys. So in order to calculate velocity or a frequency or an wavelength of an corresponding, so light or corresponding any particular wave. Okay, isn't it? Okay, so this is all about here that parameters so which are very essential in order to characterize that any particular wave motions, in terms of wave motion, if you want to say that. Okay, so this is the very most important definitions, guys. Let's discuss here one of the most important concepts, that is here electromagnetic spectrum. So what's actually that electromagnetic spectrum wants to tell us that See, in our nature we have that various type of radiations, isn't it? So we have different types of radiations. You know that like UV radiation we have, IR radiations we have, microwaves we have, and radio waves we have, visible radiation we have, isn't it? So these all radiation that have been present in that, you know, nature, means their occurrence have been in that nature. So the spectrum stands for, in here we have to made a certain arrangement. Okay, so with their particular wavelength, or with their particular frequency, on the basis of their wavelength range, on the basis of their frequency range, so we have to arrange in a certain manner to that particular radiation. Then ultimately one particular, you know, a spectrum has to be obtained, guys. So that spectrum we can call to be as here electromagnetic spectrum. So if you want to, you know, standardize this particular electromagnetic spectrum, means if you want to define in standard form, means, so how do you do that particular thing, means, so let me tell you that particular concept right now. So which is that electromagnetic spectrum. So I am going to rub this. Electromagnetic spectrum. See guys, as I told you already, that is electromagnetic spectrum is nothing but is an ultimate pattern of different types of radiations that have been arranged in a certain manner. So based on what particular thing is this particular radiation is going to be arranged, means I will tell you that, see, we have various type of radiation in our nature. Those particular radiation is going to be arranged in a particular manner, so based on their frequency range or based on their wavelength range. Then ultimately we got over there a certain pattern that we can call to be as an electromagnetic spectrum. So here basically the thing is that what we are actually going to do, means we are actually going to do here arrangement. That's it. So we are going to arrange a certain this particular different types of radiation based on their wavelength range or so you know, frequency range, means suppose increasing order of wavelength or decreasing order of frequency. So in this particular manner, if you are going to arrange that certain radiations, means then we are going to get actually here a spectrum called to be as in here electromagnetic spectrum. Very simple, guys. So let me tell you that here. So write down electromagnetic spectrum is nothing but here the arrangement of different types of radiation, the arrangement of different types of radiations. So arranged in a, so the thing is that the arrangement of different types of radiations, you know, can be arranged in the increasing order of their wavelength, or decreasing order of their frequency, or decreasing order of their frequency. So that we can call to be as in such kind of arrangement we can call to be as in here electromagnetic spectrum. Means, so we have that so since we have the different types of radiation in our nature, means, so we have to arrange those particular radiation. Why? Because those particular radiation having the different you know, that different wavelength or different frequencies. So in order to arrange on the basis of the frequency or an wavelength, ultimately we are going to get here electromagnetic spectrum. So the thing is that is the process of arrangement of different types of radiations. So in the increasing order of their wavelength or in decreasing order of their frequency, that we can call to be as in here electromagnetic spectrum, guys. Very simple thing here. Okay, so and guys, I'll tell you one thing here. So electromagnetic spectrum regarding this, one picture has to be there in your text, in your textbook, you just go and analyze that particular picture. Very simple picture, means arrangement have been shown in this particular picture. So this is the work I have given to you guys. Okay, just go with the textbook. That picture will be there in your textbook. You just once analyze, guys. That's it, and copy it in your notebook. Okay. So electromagnetic spectrum. This is about electromagnetic spectrum. And suppose if you want to so discuss their characteristics, means so this electromagnetic radiations also exhibit some sort of characteristics here. Okay, so what are those characteristics can be exhibited by here electromagnetic radiation? So we'll discuss here one by one. Very simple, guys. So ultimately we have here that electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, this electromagnetic spectrum could be generated by here or could be made by here arrangement of an electromagnetic radiations, isn't it? Different types of electromagnetic radiations. So then what are the characteristics could be exhibited by those particular electromagnetic radiations? So we'll discuss their characteristics right now. So this is the thing. So this is the scenario here. Very simple. So let's discuss their particular characteristics one by one. So so what are the characteristics that particular electromagnetic radiation is actually going to exhibit? Discuss one by one, guys. That is characteristics of electromagnetic radiation. Characteristics of electromagnetic radiation. So the very first character, guys, very simple and so very easy as well. So electromagnetic radiation that can propagate through a space. They can propagate through a space in the form of waves. See, very simple. See, the thing is that particularly a sunlight is there, right? The sunlight that can passes through that, that can so come and hit to that particular surface of the earth. So that radiation which is that emitting in the form of waves that can propagate through a space in the form of waves itself. So this is the thing here. So the thing is that the very first characteristics of that particular electromagnetic radiation would be that electromagnetic radiation they can propagate through a space in the form of wave. That is the very first character, guys. Okay, very simple. So write down the electromagnetic radiation. The electromagnetic radiation propagates through space in the form of wave, that we can call to be as in here. So this is actually characteristics of an here electromagnetic radiation, very first characteristics. So which is electromagnetic radiation which propagates through a space in the form of wave. Okay, so just like that sunlight, so the radiation which is emitted from that sun, so that particular radiation that can be passed through a space in the form of waves only. Okay, so this is the very first character. And second thing is that very easy, guys. So what is the second character here? So the particularly based on their particular velocity, their characteristics has to be associated. The thing is that the electromagnetic radiation means you can take all the electromagnetic radiation. They can travel with a speed which is equal to that speed of a light. So that's why I just told you in the case of velocity, the parameter that we are discussing their velocity. That's why I told you that the velocity of light which is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. So with the same particular velocity that electromagnetic radiation is also going to travel. Okay, so this is the second characteristics, guys. The thing is that electromagnetic radiation they can travel with the speed. Which is equal to that speed of light. By what speed of light? Here light is going to be traveling. So with the same speed of light here electromagnetic radiation is also travel, guys. Okay, so this is the second characteristics. Write down all the electromagnetic radiation can travel with a velocity which is equal to velocity of light. So this is the second characteristics, guys. Very simple. So let me tell you the third one. See, the thing is that, these particular radiations do not require any particular set of a medium here for their propagation. Okay, so suppose that electromagnetic radiation wants to travel to that any particular medium, means they don't want any particular specific medium there over. Okay, they can travel in a vacuum also. Okay, so that's why they do not require any particular material medium for their propagation, which is the most important thing, guys. So in vacuum also they can easily travel. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, the third one is that here the third characteristics for an particular electromagnetic radiation would be the electromagnetic radiation do not require any medium for their propagation. Why? Because they can travel in vacuum also. Propagation, because they can travel in vacuum also. Okay, so this is the thing, guys. So this is the third characteristics. Okay, the thing is that these magnetic radiation do not require any medium. Okay, any medium, they won't require any particular set of a medium here, so they can travel in a vacuum also. Okay, so this is the third one. And that fourth, which is most important, I have to focus on that particular thing. Okay, so the thing is that the energy of an electromagnetic radiation, which is directly proportional to its frequency and which is inversely proportional to their wavelength. Okay, this is the most important characteristics, guys. So because so based on this particular characteristics, we have one certain mathematical expression. So based on that particular expression, numericals is also going to ask that. So that's why we have to focus. So this is the type of a characteristics which you guys have to focus on this particular thing. Okay, so let us write here. The thing is that the fourth characteristics, the energy of electromagnetic radiation is directly proportional to its frequency and inversely proportional to its wavelength, Okay, so if you want to express in that mathematical form, then this particular thing would be like that: E, which equals to, or E directly proportional to nu and inversely proportional to lambda. So which means that the energy of electromagnetic radiation is directly proportional to frequency and inversely proportional to wavelength. So E directly proportional to nu and E inversely proportional to wavelength. So nu here frequency and lambda, which equals to, lambda is nothing but here wavelength. E is nothing but here energy of an here electromagnetic radiation. Suppose if you want to replace that proportionality symbol by one certain constant here, then proportionality symbol has been replaced one certain constant, that is h nu by lambda. Okay, if you have any particular equation, so in that particular equation any proportionality symbol has to be there, means it would be replaced by one certain constant term. Okay, so in this case we have replaced that particular term with an here one particular term, that is one particular word, that is h. That is h is nothing but here Planck's constant. Planck's constant. Planck's constant. So and that Planck's constant value would be here 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 27 erg second. Okay, so guys how to know that here? So here erg is not an SI unit here. Erg is not an SI unit. Erg is nothing but here this is one of the Greek word. Okay, so their meaning is to be here a work or a task. Okay, suppose and if you want to convert into joule, means 6.626 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. Why? Because 1 erg which equals to 10 to the power of minus 7 joule. 1 erg which equals to 10 to the power of minus 7 joule. Hence that 10 to the power of minus 27 get converted into minus 34 joule second. So this is that h value which is standard. Okay, h which equals to 6.626 10 to the power of minus 34 joule seconds is a standard value, it doesn't be altered at all. H is nothing but here Planck's constant. Planck's, he is one of our scientist, so you know, so based on their name that particular value is going to be recognized. So here come to that equation, E which equals to h nu divided by lambda. Okay, and guys we have to know one more thing here. Okay, so 1 by lambda which equals to nu bar. Remember, okay, h is there, nu is there, and 1 by lambda is nothing but nu bar. Okay, so E which equals to h nu bar, isn't it? Okay, so this is the thing guys, we have to know this particular thing here. Okay, so this is actually E which equals to h into nu bar. So this is an expression for that particular last characteristics of that wave. So this particular fourth characteristics wants to tell us that the energy of an electromagnetic radiation is directly proportional to its frequency and which is inversely proportional to their wavelength. Hence we got an ultimately one certain equations, their mathematical expression would be E which equals to h nu by lambda, and which is their particular you know, alteration of that equation. That's it. Okay, so this is all about here. So electromagnetic radiations characteristics. Okay, and so one more time I'm just going to remind you guys. So we have an electromagnetic spectrum. So that picture of that particular spectrum would be available in your textbook. Once you go through it, okay, you will there get in your textbook that a small picture has to be there. Okay, so we don't have sufficient so space here in order to represent that particular picture. So we'll go. I hope you all of you do that particular thing. Okay, yes guys, ultimately this is all about here characteristics of an electromagnetic radiation. So next we'll move on to that one of the most important concept, that is Planck's quantum theory. Planck's quantum theory. So what are the steps which are present there over, we'll discuss here one by one. So let us focus on that particular concept. I'm going to rub this. Planck's quantum theory. So guys, most important here, okay, just have to have a focus on this thing. Okay, Planck's quantum theory. So this particularly Planck's, he would introduce the two particular thing here. Okay, one black body and not black body and black body radiation. So what is that black body and what is that black body radiations? So I'll tell you that one thing, that particular thing. So we have one particular body here. Okay, we have one particular body. So that particular body which absorbs, okay, which absorbs radiations of that all the kind of frequencies, okay, or which emits, this body that can absorb the radiations of all the frequency or emits radiations of that all the frequency. So those particular substance that can absorb that or that can emits that radiations of that all the frequencies, that we can call to be as in here black body. Then write down guys, black body is nothing but black body. Okay, black body is nothing but here the body which absorbs or emits radiations of all the frequency is called black body. Very much important guys. Okay, we have certain a particular substance or a body. If you want to consider a particular substance as a body, that particular substance that has to absorb radiations of all the frequencies or which emits that radiations of all the frequencies, that we can call to be as in here a black body. So those substances having such kind of character we can call to be as in here a black body. So then what is mean by black body radiation here? What is mean by black body radiation? The black body radiation is nothing but guys here the radiation that has been emitted from that black body, that we can call to be as in here black body radiation. Isn't it very simple? We have a black body means, so the radiation which is emitted from such kind of body we can call to be as in here black body radiation. So write down black body radiation. The radiation emitted by black body. The radiation emitted by black body we can call to be as in here a black body radiation. Guys, sorry. So we have to know one particular thing here. Okay, so what are those particular thing here? So we have one particular black body right now, since we have studying this particular black body. So we have a black body. So the frequency distribution of that radiations that has to be emitted from that black body, that have been depending on that here a temperature. I mean to say is that we have a black body means the radiation that has been emitted from that particular black body. Okay, the frequency distribution of that particular radiation which is emitted from that particular black body, so it has to depends on that their temperature. I mean to say is that as the temperature supposed to be increases means the intensity of that radiation is also going to be increases. Okay, at a particular temperature what happen, the intensity of that particular emitted radiation would be very high guys, with a decreasing of their wavelength. Okay, so let us very concentrate guys here, very interesting thing here. We have to you guys have to focus on this particular thing. I mean to say is that, so we have one certain black body here, from that black body radiation have been emitted. Okay, radiations have been emitted or radiations is to be absorbing. The intensity of that particular radiation, it should be depending on the temperature. Suppose we have a temperature very high means the intensity that has been emitted from that particular radiation which is also very high. Okay, the thing is that, so intensity obviously is increases with the decreasing of their particular wavelength. Okay, so this particular experimental factor could be explained here. So by plotting a graph in between that intensity versus wavelength. So we'll discuss there here. So very simple thing guys here. Okay, let me tell you one thing, you just have to focus on that particular thing here. So we have a black body, right? okay, the radiation supposed to be emitted, the radiation supposed to be emitted from that black body, the frequency of that particular radiation, the frequency of that particular radiation should be depending on that here temperature, depending on that here temperature. Okay, as you can increases the temperature, that intensity or brightness of that particular radiation would be increases, and generally their wavelength has been decreases, guys, decreases. So these particular scenario have been explained here, graphical representation. Okay, we'll see that particular graphical representation, then only you guys come to know that what is the actual stuff here. Okay, so let's concentrate here. So at a particular temperature, if you want to plot a graph between intensity versus temperature wavelength at particular temperature. Okay, suppose and wavelength can be represented in terms of nanometer. As we can go like this, wavelength has been decreases, guys. Okay, and we can along that y-axis we have taken intensity and x-axis wavelength. So along that y-axis intensity have been increases, wavelength decreases, guys. So let us consider a temperature T1. At temperature T1, what might be that intensity range of that certain radiation here? We'll see. At particular temperature, what happened? So the particular intensity of that electromagnetic radiation have been increases like that and reaches a maximum and then decreases, guys, with the decreasing of their wavelength. Okay, with their decreasing of their wavelength. Okay, this is the scenario happened at temperature T1. So at particular temperature, the intensity of that radiation increases and reaches a maximum value and again decreases with the decreasing of their wavelength. So this scenario you have to remember. And supposed to be I have to take on here a temperature T2, means I have to increase some more temperature right now. So temperature T2, the graph would be like that. Okay, that is temperature T2. Okay, with this particular graphical representation, what we are actually going to know here, at temperature means at very high temperature, the intensity of that radiation which have been emitted from that particular black body is going to be very high. Okay, with the decreasing of their wavelength. So this particular thing we have to know here, at any given particular temperature, the particular radiation's intensity which reaches that maximum, and then their particular intensity is also going to be decreases with the decreasing of their wavelength, guys, with decreasing of wavelength. Okay, so these are the things we have to know, that hence we could write here T2 which is greater than T1. So at higher temperature, intensity is also going to be more, isn't it? See that the graphical, the total contrast between this particular graph, you just have to focus on these things. Okay, so as we can increase this temperature, intensity is also going to be increases. So and that particular intensity with particularly reaches maximum value at certain wavelength, okay, at a certain wavelength. Okay, thereafter that intensity have been decreases with the decreasing of their wavelength. Okay, so this is the scenario, guys, here. So this is all about here a black body, radiations and their frequency distribution. Okay, so associated with here temperature. Okay, so and based on this particular experimental observation, that Planck he could made his own particular postulates here. Okay, so what are those particular postulates here? We'll discuss one by one. Very much important, guys. So we'll go with their particular postulates here that have been made ever by a Planck. We'll discuss. So I just have to write here. So based on that experimental observation, Planck he could made here his own postulates. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. That is the very first. That is postulates of postulates of Planck's quantum. So what are those postulates he could made here? Very first, if you consider one particular atom or a molecule, the atom or a molecule which absorbs energy or emit energy in the form of small discrete quantity called to be as in here a photon or an quanta. The thing is that if you consider one particular atom or a molecule, that atom or a molecule is going to be absorb some sort of energy or emit some sort of energy which is in the form of a small discrete quantity, guys. Okay, that particular thing we can call to be as in here a photon or an quanta. So write down here, the atom and molecule could absorb or emits energy in the form of small discrete quantity called to be as in here quanta or photon. Small discrete quantity called to be as in here called as an quanta or photon. Guys, have to know that here photon is nothing but nothing but here a small pocket of energy or a bundle of energy we can call to be as in here photon. Small pocket of energy, or a bundle of energy we can call to be as in here photon generally. Okay, so this is the very first postulates that have been made over here Planck's. So based on those particular practical observation, so second postulates he could made here, yes, the energy emitted from this quanta of radiation, the energy which is emitted from that a quanta of radiation which is equal to its frequency, guys, which is equal to its frequency. This is the postulates that have been made over that particular experimental observation. Second postulates would be here, the radiation that have been emitted from that particular quanta or an photon, it should be equal to their frequency, means which is directly proportional to frequency. Frequency is supposed to be is more, means the energy is going to be also more. Suppose frequency is going to be reduces or frequency is going to be very less, means energy is also very less, guys. Okay, so this is the term here. So the second postulates have to write down, that is the energy of quanta of radiation is directly proportional to its frequency, Okay, suppose if you want to express in terms of mathematically means, so we have certain equations like that, E directly proportional to nu. So the energy of quanta of radiation directly proportional to nu, and this proportionality symbol has been replaced by here one certain constant term here, that is just I already explained in the characteristics of the electromagnetic radiation. So E which equals to h nu. So guys, and we have to know that what is it nu indicating here. So C which equals to nu lambda, then nu which equals to C by lambda, isn't it? So then E which equals to h into nu is nothing but here C by lambda. So and ultimately, so E which equals to h into C into again 1 by lambda, that is nothing but here nu bar, which is nothing but wave number. So this is the second postulates, guys. The energy of quanta of radiation is directly proportional to its frequency. Okay, so this is the thing. And the last but not the least postulates is there over. So in this Planck's quantum theory, that would be yes, guys. So this is these two are the second two postulates concerned with here Planck's quantum theory. The last but not the least one here, see the energy that has to be emitted from that black body. So if you consider a particular atom or a molecule, the radiation that has to be emitted from that particular atom, that always be in the form of an here integral multiple of an h nu, always be in the form of integral multiple of an h nu. Guys, we have to know here what is mean by that integral multiple. So integral multiple is nothing but here any particular quantity have to be multiplied with here integer, that we can call to be as an here integral multiple. That's it. So the third postulates would be the energy is emitted by a body, or that energy is always emitted, the energy is always, in other words, energy is always emitted in the form of, or is an integral multiple of h nu, is an integral multiple of h nu, that we can. So these are the major postulates of an Planck's quantum theory. So E which equals to n h nu, guys, E which equals to n h nu, that is a term indicating here. So the energy is always emitted from a particular body is an integral multiple of an h nu. Their mathematical expression would be here E which equals to n h nu, and n here integer, okay. And as we know that h is nothing but Planck's constant, nu is nothing but here frequency, is nothing but here energy of an quantum, okay. So this is all about here Planck's quantum theory, and there is the postulates of Planck's quantum based on that experimental observation, so that we have made over that black body radiations, guys. Today I'll just want to close up this particular session. So let's discuss the new concept with that by tomorrow itself. Okay, thank you, Nada.